is it preparation and luck? The two things that successful people are prepared and have luck. I happened to meet Mike Hughes from the Martin Agency. And the Martin Agency is one of those agencies for me that definitely put notoriety behind them and use success as a measure to how they engage with people through brands that they have. So right out of college, I got a job in advertising and got to start doing some things based on how I looked at the world. So one of the first things that I worked on was called Project Exile, which was a gun control program in Virginia. There was at a time in the 90s, Richmond was one of the highest murder capital cities in the world, or in the nation, rather, in the United States. And so the gun violence thing was a big deal. So we were asked to do a pro bono campaign for a pilot program by the federal government to help stop and curb gun control. So we had a simple message. An illegal gun will get you 5 years in federal prison. So again, my biggest assignment at that point wasn't for an alcohol brand or for a bank, but I got to do something that actually would provoke the community to think differently and, curb gun violence. Before I go there though, this is the perception that we all have of advertising. Mad Men. And again, this is, for me, the key visual that talks about notoriety in terms of advertising and why people do it. But this was my reality. Not quite the same, but again, this was the back and forth. Okay, so this was the first ad I got to work on. This was for Project Exile. That was the beginning of a campaign in Richmond, Virginia that actually curbed gun violence by, I would say, 45% the first year. We did one other spot that I'll share with you guys as I move forward on during this presentation.
This is me. This is my mommy. And this is my daddy.
Again, when you get the opportunity to put some things into the world that matter, you get to change people's opinions with advertising in a way that I think can be very transformative. And again, this wasn't done for awards. This wasn't done to boost anyone's career. This was done with the intent of actually changing gun violence in the community. And again, it worked. So after my Martin experience, my proximity of the world expanded, and it was no longer just Centerville, Virginia. It became the East Coast. And I went from Virginia and had the opportunity to work with this man, Dan White, who runs and owns and opened White and Kennedy in Portland, Oregon. That experience for most creatives would be the door opening to the big time, the sort of arc or the mecca of advertising. And I was very, very grateful to get an opportunity to work there for a long time and do some things on Nike and a few other brands that, again, I was able to carry over my core principles of what I believed in, and got to do some things with Dan and the people at Nike and that White McCain that transformed my career and my way I looked at advertising. So this is one of the very first things that I did for Nike. Again, the white years were incredible. They set me up for a lot of the perspectives that I share with you guys in advertising and things that I use to this day. And I've been kind of heavy with this presentation so far about my view on advertising and notoriety and how evil it is and how you should do things for the good and put good into the world. But every now and then, it is absolutely fun to just put fun into the world as well. And Nike is one of those brands because it's about sports culture and athletes have massive personalities that you get to have a lot of fun. You don't have to be super serious like we just were with that piece. I got the opportunity to help launch LeBron James in the United States when he came out from high school, and we did a campaign called The LeBrons. And this is a piece that we did for him to help dimensionalize his character, because he was a young kid coming into the NBA. He was a businessman already at the age of 19. He was an old soul because he had such a deep connection to the game, and he was also just cool. And this is a spot that we did for him.
Training, boom.
Baby, we can go anytime. You just let me know what's good for you.
You can't get through Detroit training in no pool. You think Michael trained in the pool? No, I don't think so. And stop looking at my lemonade.
Here I come! Cannonball!
Oh, hot sweat.
Or make me get out of this seat.
Come on in!
He won't get no more. You don't want to get his hair wet. Pretty boy.
Hold that thought. We'll call you back.
Oh, hello.
Again, when you deal with people who have the same principles as you, they have the same approaches and want to have fun and put things into the world in a method that, again, inspires and charms people and allows them to get to know them. And that was one of the things that we got to do on a daily basis when I was in Portland working on Nike. And again, it's something I bring with me as I continue to work in this profession. So, after working at Wyatt, my perspective yet again shifted, and my proximity was Oregon. And again, just showing you my path: Centerville, Richmond, Virginia, Oregon. And that took me to another agency that I think has led the way and inspired me ever since I was probably not even aware that I wanted to be in advertising, which was Chiat-Day. I got the opportunity, and still to this day get the opportunity, to work with this man, Lee Cloud, one of the most transformative people in our business, one of the most kindest people in our business, and someone who his stature, what he's done, has not affected who he is as a human being. It's only made him kinder, wiser, and more giving, and more compassionate. And if you can apply any of those things to the people that you respect in your respective places, I think you're going to do great work, because people like that inspire the best out of you without even lifting a hand. So, coming to Chiat-Day was, even after White, was the tip of the iceberg for me. And one of the things I love at Chiat, this idea of advertising agencies putting good into the world, is a statement that's now on the front of our building: be more human, and if in doubt, be more dog. Again, in our business, and those people are in this room, I know this because I can feel it. There's a lot of people in this business who aren't in it for the common good. It's, again, notoriety, it's money, it's all the effective, constructive things in this business that don't really put good into our communities, into our consciousnesses, and into the world. And again, I don't mean to sound preachy, but it's just something that really deeply feel close to. Our new CCO is Stephen Butler. And this is a piece I worked on with him that was supposed to be on the cover of Shots magazine. This Stephen Butler is someone I admired a great deal coming up when I was getting into advertising. And Stephen's principal core truth is the truth. And this is he didn't really get that tattoo. But this is a forward-facing image that we use for him to talk about his ideals and what he wants to bring to the business and how he wants to help transform Chiat, which he's doing. I work on Gatorade now, and it's a brand that has allowed me to really continue to express and demonstrate the way I like to in our business and to do things to inspire people. I work with a group of people who wrote the line "Win from Within," which is a very aspirational line. And this is a piece that I worked on with two creators, Renato and Gustavo, who were the creators. I was the creative director with Brent Henderson. And it's a piece, again, that hopefully inspires and puts something into the world that makes people want to kick ass. Gatorade's an interesting brand, as I'll get to see what's next here. Gatorade's an interesting brand because they're at the center of a conversation in the United States about sugary drinks and obesity, and you know, it's a problem around the world, but in the States in particular. And so I'm going to show you a piece in a couple of minutes that's a response to that debate, and it's also, again, my idea of putting good into the world and allowing people to use a product the way it's meant to be used and not as a sedentary beverage when you're playing video games or just, you know, not exercising or competing. One of the other things that I've got to do, this piece is from Chiat, and it's very close to me. Like I said earlier, I grew up in museums, love museums. And in Los Angeles, what I've learned and come to love about Los Angeles more than anything is the art community. And I've developed a connection to the community, the art community, that's every day when I wake up and drive or walk through Los Angeles, Santa Monica, I can see the influence of the artists who are globally influencing the art culture at large. So this piece is called Pacific Standard Time. Was an effort, an initiative rather, that the Getty Museum did to get young kids who would normally go to museums to go. So what we did was partner with celebrities and use the celebrities' interest to kind of pivot off of some of the artists that were exhibited in the gallery. In this case, it was Ice Cube from NWA and Charles and Ray Eames. And again, this piece was it's a long format piece, but it won't take up too much time. But again, the idea was to inspire young kids who weren't culturally into museums or thought they were for someone else to actually come to the Getty and check out these exhibits.
A lot of people think LA is just eyesore after eyesore, full of mini malls, palm trees, and billboards. So what? They don't know the LA I know. The good, the bad, and the ugly about LA. The good, the farm, the 5 torches, the Cockatoo Inn, Raleigh Hut, Watts Towers. One man's eyesore is another man's paradise. The bad, the traffic. Each freeway has its own personality. The 405, bougie traffic. The 110, that's gangster traffic right there. It's a difference. You gotta know where you at. Come from South Central Los Angeles. You gotta use what you got and make the best of it. What I love about the Eames is how resourceful they are. Charles and Ray Eames, a husband and wife team. Before I did rap music, I studied architectural drafting. And one thing I learned is that you always gotta have a plan. 2 days to build this front. 2 days. got off-the-shelf factory windows, prefabricated walls. They was doing mashups before mashups even existed. It's not about the pieces, it's how the pieces work together. You know, taking something that already exists and making it something special. You know, kind of like sampling. In a world full of McMansions, where the structure takes up all the land, the Eames made structure and nature one. This is going green 1949 style, bitch. Believe that. Who are these people who got a problem with LA? Maybe they just mad they don't live here.
Again, working with Ice Cube, all the things that you would go, oh shit, your job must be amazing. And that was amazing. But what this did was it got kids to come to the museum, attendance went up, and they had breakthrough attendances for the exhibit that year. Finally, what I want to share with you is the piece that Gatorade did to basically address the obesity issues in the United States as it related to their drink. As I was saying before, there's an issue in the States where sugary drinks are being consumed when kids aren't exercising, and Gatorade and PepsiCo are at the center of this discussion in the United States. So we created this piece for Gatorade to basically offset and to educate people as to why and when they should be using this beverage. So what we did was set up a convenience store and had a hidden camera, an actor who played the convenience store cashier, and unsuspecting people came in to buy a Gatorade, but if they weren't sweating, then they weren't allowed to buy the Gatorade. Now, you may ask yourself the question when you see this, oh, that was fake, there's no way this scripted. This shit is massively real. In fact, you can't even script what we got because it's too crazy. But anyway, I shall share.
How are you? Good. Is that all?
This is all.
I can't sell this to you. It's Gatorade, so it's for gals who have been working out hard and breaking a sweat.
I do this stuff all the time after I work out.
But you're not sweating now, so.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I feel like you don't have really a winning attitude right now. Are you waiting for?
A winning attitude. I just need the Gatorade. It was my birthday last night.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, but this is like the first thing.
Did you have a few drinks? It's not designed for that, it's designed for workouts, so if you make destructive decisions at night. You know what, maybe I can't, if it's your birthday, let my manager make a ruling on this, okay?
Okay.
You can just hold on 1 second, I'll grab him. Can you help me with this customer? It's her birthday.
You're gonna be sweating.
That's what I thought.
You're gonna be sweating to have that.
This is awkward.
What do I need to do?
So these guys kept it going. Like this, again, she wants the drink, she's hungover, and now they're asking her to do some yoga in the store.
A chaturanga?
That's a chaturanga. Is there a chaturanga you have?
Chaturanga here in the gas station. All right.
These are nice.
Thank you. Can I have a napkin?
Absolutely, here. Just use these little bags.
Is this gonna exert enough
What
sweat?
do I need to
Enough to get some back sweat going?
do? Enough to get a back sweat?
So that was shared around the States, and again, it was a way of us addressing a problem in a way that used comedy, but again, a very informative way, without preaching to people, without having a PSA type campaign to get Gatorade's point of view on why and how you should be using their product. So this is my view at this point as I stand with you in the room. From Centerville, Virginia to Portland, Oregon to Los Angeles to now having the privilege of being a global creative director for Chiat-Day. And I open with this question: is success measured by notoriety? And I have had the privilege of working with advertising agencies that don't put fame and notoriety and fake pretenses in the way of doing great work that informs great behavior, understands the client's brand voice, and puts things into the world that inspire people. And the thing that has actually gone full circle for me, so a friend of mine who's a teacher sent me this photo. This is the last thing I'll share with you. And this is a young kid that did a report on me as someone that inspired him. And that's what it's all about. That's all I got.